есть на сегодняшний момент.
Мгм.
Так, сейчас демонстрация экрана. Ага. Так. Мгм. Есть, да, контакт?
Мгм. Мгм.
Вот, то есть как бы это вот один из вариантов.
Мгм.
Получился такой. И сейчас там сюда двигаем. Это мы закрываем, это мы открываем. Потом вот тоже получается вот за счет вот маски также простроены эти стенки вот вместе совместно.
Мгм.
Ой-ой-ой, не улетай. Сейчас. То есть такого вот амплуа.
А что вы взяли за основу? Какие?
Сейчас покажу. Так. За основу я брала, получается, Аральское, это море Аральское. И у меня был слой Ocean Reflectance, что-то там вот такое у него было название.
Мгм.
Так. Оп. Оп. Ну да, ну, вот, то есть такой вот вариант, где он как закрытый. Ну, это еще нужно как-то так. Это на данный момент такие вот варианты. Сейчас. Пам-пам-пам. Так. О.
На самом деле будет классно, если вы будете еще делать анимации, то есть не рендерить не только в
Трехмерку.
НГ, в смысле, да, и потом переводить это в трехмерку. А еще для того, чтобы понимать, что там было, делать еще анимацию самого процесса.
Ну да,
как
сами
файла. Да.
Ну, то есть сами вот
имиджи.
эти
И
изображения.
сами имиджи, да.
Так. Я поняла, что это нужно будет просто в этом комплексе. Сейчас это остановить демонстрацию экрана, совместное использование. Да, и у нас получается вот эти изображения. Ну, то есть я их переводила в черно-белый вариант, потому что они у меня были изначально... Я просто не знаю, если я сейчас включу видео, оно, по идее, у вас не покажется, да? Вы его не видите, правильно?
Видео нет. А попробуй зашерить.
Сейчас, я тут, да, немножечко... Тогда вот так у нас получается. Вот, да? То есть вот мы сначала. То есть я так понимаю, что вот эти изображения, да, они у нас, получается, разбиты на 300 кадров, да? Вот. И получается, в After Effects я их перевела в ЧБ. Вот. И, соответственно, что у нас получилось непосредственно в этом играсе.
А получается, что вы тренировались на цветном изображении?
Ну, да, я тогда уточнила по поводу того, что это. Потому что вроде как можно любой слой брать, но я ж не, ну, как говорится, когда в процессе ты уже потом понимаешь, что лучше брать, так скажем, другой слой и с другим слоем работать. Это уже так на будущее проэкспериментировать после этого. Вот. А так, получается, у меня в обработке было это 24 часа. Вот. То есть уже вот этот результат использовался там.
Прикольно.
Классно, да.
Да. Мы даже с Эдуардом думали, что довольно интересно, если просто сделать трехмерку вот этой динамики с обыкновенных карт до того, как они прошли через CAN. И просто показать там, ну, допустим, эта трехмерная диаграмма, она показывает, как это море, допустим, исчезает, да, вот. И сравнить это, допустим, с вот этой трехмеркой, которая...
обработки нейросети, как она...
Да, как она это видит, и как мы это видим, и как она это видит, чтобы как бы две модельки для сравнения, допустим.
Ну да, кстати, надо попробовать.
Интересно.
Спасибо.
Я могу, кстати, показать эту, как бы, эту трехмерку.
Давай сейчас спросим. Is there anyone else has something to share? Елизавета just showed her work. She was working with RLC, and her gun was her model been training for 24 hours, she said, and she trained it on the color images, and then it's converted into black and white in the end. So no one would like to share? If no one would like to share, Edward will share. He always has something.
I can share quickly this.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure.
Sorry. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was experimenting with some other images I had from a gun also, and these ones are about like some images generated from like IKEA catalogs and stuff, and it actually creates this kind of furniture weird stuff, and I thought it was quite interesting to see how like it created kind of like these plants but from furniture. So I found that really interesting. So I was kind of experimenting with images like that.
I see. It does look like interior.
Yeah, especially from the top. I don't know if like you ever have this.
Could you show the images which what that was the for the train? As input into style gun.
Yes. So here is. So some were kind of like garden, I think, and some other ones look like covers. So I fed it a bunch of images from kitchens and living rooms. So it created this kind of strange places. So I thought it was quite interesting then to kind of see that in 3D as well. It almost looks like like an interior of a house. So I thought that was quite interesting. And yeah, and I was using a Mexico model from Frapp as well. If I can open that. How is that? Sorry, now can I? Okay. Okay, yeah, that was from the satellite images. Using like from a region like central Mexico region as well. So that was also quite, I think it shows a lot of like the strange changes in the landscape as well, because that's why I chose that region, because they've been basically destroying all the hills and everything to create new paths. And so I think that was quite visible in some of in the data set. And so the GAN kind of captured that sort of like breakings of the volumes of mountains. So I thought that was quite interesting data set as well. And, yeah.
you can really see change the transformation, definitely. That's cool.
So yeah, that was that was it.
Nice. So I actually have a question to add. I've noticed that in these GAN images, it kind of has certain phases, you know, like, okay, it's learning from a certain dynamic, and dynamic is very linear, something is growing, right? But I can see that it gives you images, it's not mimicking the process, but it's kind of mimicking something, then it moves to sprawl again. Well, let's say if something is growing is like nothing, then something is growing, and then it comes back to nothing again and something, because I can see this like fluctuation in all the diagrams. Is that?
Yes. It's not show the linear dynamic of the process, because for GAN is all of images is like just a sample for training. And during the process, it's all of these images to randomize their order, actually, and actually we don't know how they train inside the model. I mean, that what the order inside the for each epoch inside the model, and it's actually it's a good for the training to generate the images like faces, because you don't need the dynamic of the faces. You need the faces looks look as a face. And because of that, you need to randomize all of your data set. But in our case, if you have landscape images with some dynamic, and they try to just create something which could be look like some images from the data set, and it will be the order of these images just it's random.
Random, yeah. Okay, interesting.
Okay. Actually, that's very interesting to see your experiments.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing. Very nice work.
Maybe you can share with us some images, maybe screenshots or videos or someone else in our Discord, if you are there.
We actually, yeah, I was just about to say probably something with you, the same thing, Ed, is that we received an email from the organizers that they would like to have an exhibition of kind of all the results of the workshops. So they asked us to share the images from the workshop. So it would be nice if you could start sharing, and we can just.
Yeah. Okay. If you not have other.
Anyone else? No, no one.
I guess no.
I guess no. Okay. Okay, that's fine.
I share my screen. Actually. Sure. Okay. I just going to show you some my experiments during the last day. This is what the talk Katya about. This is a volume from the data set without style GAN processing. It just seven images from the layer forest and forest, and you can see there, and this is a right order of the in timeline. I mean, on the bottom of the volume is a year 2007, if I remember exactly, and on the top is layer 2070.
Yeah, so it's like 10 years sequence of images.
Yeah, actually, it has this sequence consists 7 images, but I don't know what years exactly they take. Maybe this does not have right years by years. Maybe it's not. Maybe other other date of the missions. And as you can see, this is better to understand the real process, real dynamics of the landscape dynamic. And you can see this there. The empty is
forest.
Yes, it's a forest. Empty
and
is forest.
Yeah, the volume, kind of the solid, is actually the erosion of the forest.
Yeah. And actually, yes, and this, of course, this volume, this objects give us a chance to analyze this as if we are going to make some findings, analytics, and make some analysis. Of course, when we work with other with GAN results, we talking about any kind of mutation of this data, hallucination of this data inside the GAN, and we see the some process of the some creating average of the generalized object from the all input images. And I'll show you some other objects which I generated too. This is just switch off. This is was I shared it with in our Discord, and this is a GAN output which was trained on the data from the slopes, which I shown you.
The topography.
Yes, the topography. Yeah. And this look like this one. Actually, I can, maybe if you don't, if you haven't seen this, I'll show you the animation of this process. If it give it
maybe it doesn't support your player or something.
No, it's not supported. It says it's
that's YouTube.
yes, it's Google Drive video. It's maybe something wrong with my yeah. Hasn't done. It looks like something like this.
And how long did you train this? How long?
It was about about 1 day.
1 day. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I started to learn it again.
To train it.
Yes, because it was interrupted by time. And I see the actually it's it's fallen. It's break again. Okay, not that much. And other my experiments. This is. It started to be a little bit slowly. I just this one and next variant. This is this sculpture. I just I made this to show the that you can make some dynamic masks inside for your and experiment with other stuff in the After Effects.
Maybe you can show how to do that, because that would be helpful.
I'm going to open the After Effects and show you. But actually, I see that you made a beautiful your sculpture, and actually, it's really cool. Sorry for my computer started to be slowly with opened Rhino, Zoom, Blender, After Effects. Yes, this is a composition, and what I made to create this stuff is I made the animation of the moving of the rectangle, which go through the animation through the timeline, like this one. And actually, it's if you never made the animation inside the After Effects, it's very actually it's not difficult. And actually, what I also do is I create this anti-mask. I mean, masks that mask my rectangle mask.
Yeah, it's basically a cut in the mask.
Yeah, and from and for this, why I do this, because I think it's interesting to see their river go through the all this landscape, and it is most of the visible objects, and I think that it will be cool to highlight this object and divided from the background, and for this reason I think that this kind of masks which allow me to do this, and as I can see here again in the end, I made this sculpture, this 3D object with the river inside this object. and the data around this main object, which I would like to highlight. And okay, let's maybe someone like to do something like this. I started from the scratch. Actually, if I have as initial state, I have a new composition with my background. Actually, I a little bit cropped this because in general I have the I have little bigger, higher highest resolution, but actually the actually it's not this one. Sorry, this one. Not this one. I missed my file. Okay. Just a moment. This one. Actually, there was this sequence, and I found that I have this interesting career for me. And for when I created the, maybe I can start from scratch. Absolutely. I have this. In general, I import the this sequence, and I create new composition from this, like this one, and I found it found this river, and I think that this resolution 512, but actually because we have resolution of our 3D object about 224, I think it's I can crop it, and for this I click on the icon burger burger menu. It's and select composition settings. It's allow me to decrease or increase my composition canvas. Actually, I can just sorry for next one too, and select the my layer and put it where I would like to have in the inside the canvas. Actually, I can remove it from the window. It's not delete actually. It's not delete from the from the project. Just remove from this window. And after that, I think that it will be good if I would like I would like to have a mask, but you have two different systems to create a mask for the footage. First of all, we can select the layer, select the footage, and select the masks, and create a mask. But actually, it's created inside the size of the image. not inside my canvas. And I don't like this one. I'm lazy, and I would like to create more. Create something without any kind of adjust of the size of circle. And for this reason, I deselect, just clicking on the empty space, and create the ellipse again by double click, and this creates a shape, new layer, not a mask, but new layer, which can be with a fill and the stroke, which you can find here. For our we need a filled ellipse and without stroke, because we need to like a mask. For this, I click on the fill and select the second icon, solid color, and select the stroke and select none. It looks like that it's mask, but mask and which I don't want to have. Because I would like to have image inside this circle. Because of that, I have to select select the icon here, expand or collapse the transfer controls, and my my control panel expanded and is expanded, and I see the additional elements, and I have a check mate and allow me to mate the my track, my footage layer, as you'd like to call it, and with the layer above my current layer. We have the four variants, for options, and I need the alpha invert mate, and oh no, sorry, I need the alpha mate, and it's and how you see, I see the right right mask, and actually if I going to move my my image, the mask is not move with it, because it's an independent object. After that, I need to create a rectangle. I just click in, again, I click in the on the empty space, select the rectangle tool and double click the rectangle, and I can change the size of rectangle. Just expand the rectangle properties and go to rectangle path, and change. Click on the constraint properties, proportions, to remove this link between high weight, and I see that I can create this some rectangle. After that, I need to move it. I would like to have. For this, I expand transform, and just I can move like this one, or by the value on the property bar. I create new position and click on this icon with like a timer, and it's create a key, and this key, which I can actually can move through timeline, and this will be the third key. Last key will be at the end of the composition of timeline, and I can just move it on the bottom. Oh, if you'd like, you can move other way. If you'd like to move just in one axis, you should need to click on the shoot and move it. And how you see, it's very okay. It's usually done. But after that, I understand that I need to highlight the river. For that reason, I need to mask our rectangle to remove the area with a river. I understand that I tried to find it during the effects, but I couldn't. And because of that, I think that maybe better to just to create the line. Maybe it will be more effective than try to find the some effects to highlight the river. And I just create with the pen tool the polyline during the line. You can see that this line has a line, but it has some fill, because you have a fill black from the previous property for rectangle, and stroke none. But you need to actually other properties. You need to stroke with some weights and without fill. But I just go through the river, and after that I just need to create a stroke and remove the fill. It's not. I'm not interested to color of this image, because it's just the need to as a mask, but I need to just adjust a stroke weight, and after that, this shape is my rectangle. For example, this one, and this one should be my mask. And I go to the track mate and select not this one, alpha invert mate. Is this automatically remove the eye? It means that you hide this layer, as in the previous shape is circle. And as you can see, it's already done. And these three shapes allow me to create this kind of mask. Or it's and after that, I just need to add some effects to the layer, image layer. Actually, I show you a curve. Maybe to you it will be better to use a level. In sometimes, I mean, it's just which are completely the same as in the Photoshop. To make it more contrast. And after that, I just need to the render off as we have already done in your experience. Just this, that's it. Елизавета, у вас примерно было понятно или что-то повторить, что-то показать?
Нет, все понятно. Спасибо.
Окей. I do this to show you how you can creativity, how you can use your creativity to make something special in before this model in a step of preparing of the images to the 3D model.
Yeah, how you can manipulate your data. I guess this After Effects, that's where you can actually filter, select the kind of bits and pieces you would like to highlight, and etc. So it's quite cool that you can also create this animation kind of and have a sequence of mask. And you showed with a very simple rectangular, but I guess it could be even more creative and think about how can you do that.
Yeah, actually, you think about you can see about the maybe to understand if you, of course, you can think about your rotation. If you would like to make some like a propeller and create it depends your idea. Just create something like this. Or something else, of course. And what is interesting that for me is that you can this allow you to highlight something inside the density volume. You can use other maybe masks, dynamic, not dynamic mask to highlight something interesting. And how I said before, next step is exporting it to the OBJ files, and after that to import it inside the Blender. I'll show you the example. Actually, I have this inside the Blender already.
So here's a question. Does everyone have Blender on your computer installed? Do you have access to Blender? Yeah, Laura has. Niloufar has. Elisabetta has. Great. 50% of the group. Olivia is also fine. Great.
Actually, I'm interested to work with the Blender. Not installed, but I already have some practice.
Skills, yeah.
No, of course, it's fine. Actually, I'm a new guy in the Blender too. Actually, I just started to because when I started to think about the new aesthetic, I understand that I need to some agile tool for this, and Blender for me is I understand that Blender is good for several reasons. Like this is a free tool. You don't need any kind of additional paint for the new tool. And actually, it's a really powerful tool. With for example, with visual language, not based language for the shaders, which I'll show you today, and for the transformation, you can use the node-based language too. For me, actually, for me, is most of the modern way to work with data and modeling. And I'll show you some small tips which I know. Okay, let's start. You can just first of all, you need to export your object, all batch of the objects into the OBJ file. Well, for this, I go to the file export selected and select OBJ. I actually work with I have already created this file already, but it just need to create your own OBJ files. You don't need to make something special. You just need to export, and it's not need to change the properties by default. Actually, you can create some script with the plugins which allow you to export the OBJ file via Grasshopper. But actually, sometimes it's how I said before. It's cool that if you after make optimization for your all of your pipeline. But actually, sometimes in this case I don't make some optimization. It's some reason because I don't have a lot of time to optimize after make it optimization. This optimization, but actually you can. It will be great. And actually, what when you go to the Blender, actually you can remove some layer, or maybe okay, yeah, just remove all of this layer. You can just you need to import new file. Okay, I just to show you the Blender because it's a new software. I start from scratch. Should I close all of my software because it's okay. When I open the Blender, I see this menu. You just need to click outside of this menu, and this is a simple scene with the camera, with this light, and the box. It's default objects. We don't need all of them. Actually, I can remove it. Actually, you can. I forgot this, but I forgot this short key. But you can remove all default objects by some short key. Actually, but I always forgot this. And you can to import file, you need to go to the of course it's I actually this is of course is a view window. This is a timeline, and this is a by default you can see the tree of all of the object, the structure of your scene, and the property bar for the rendering and for the object. Actually, you can create your own change your viewport setting like this one. I'll show you how it's. I'll show you how you do this. I really like this this UX UI, and you have actually several tabs with workspace by default, which you can use, and this actually is this is a really simple instrument if you don't go to the animation of the creatures or something like this. And okay, you can go to the file, import, and you can find the import obj, wavefront obj. And what is not so perfect that you couldn't select the many object files, multiple object files, because you need to one by one import into the scene. Actually, I tried to find some way to do this. I mean, to import multiple files, but actually, and I found some scripts and plugins, but in my case, nothing worked, and because of that, actually, I import by one by one. Maybe you can find some technique for this.
But as Eddie, that means that you have to assemble everything in Rhino file and then just select it. The whole
yes. Why I don't make this? Because it's when you import as one object, it will be one object. Sometimes you need to inside the Blender different objects. Maybe not actually, and it's actually other reason, because if you actually I have a problem with the size of the object project obj file when it was it has a big size. I couldn't import it inside the Blender by one file too, and for me it's because of that I used batch and imports as divided object. Actually, you can see that this import was strange. This changed the axis of the model. Actually, because I forgot the change it. Import object file, select the object file, and I need to to change the axis. Up is my z, forward minus x, something like this.
I didn't have problems with that. It just came straight incorrect. It
depends on how you. It depends on how you export your OBJ file, because you can change the during the export. You can change the axis too. Okay. My Blender.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes.
Sure.
About the scaling and the units, should we manage, like, should we, for example, if Rhino units are meter, should we manage the same units in Blender before?
Not so much, because we don't have with some real units.
Oh.
And because this you don't need to think about that.
Thank you.
I don't have a problem with actually units. Maybe if you have, maybe you can see this and try to help.
Yeah, I guess setting up the scale, that's all depend on the size of your image, right? So you have to imagine how many.
It's about the size of the bounding box which you create.
Yes, exactly. The size of the bounding box, and you can relate that to kind of to the real, to the real length and width of your image. And then you can.
Sorry. So we shouldn't check the units in Blender before importing the model, right?
If you have the bounding box like around 100 units, some units, it will be okay for the importing. Because of course they have some problem with a huge scale like this one, because you need to change this not a scale, it's as a property of the scene, which allow you to use inside the Blender.
All right, thank you.
Yes, I need to more 3 objects. Who made it in parallel? Maybe someone, or just.
I have it in Blender. I have my model in Blender now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, me too.
Елизавете, удалось открыть Blender и засунуть туда OBJ?
Это да, пробовала, делала.
My Blender a little bit slow. Actually, as you can see, I installed the special plugin for import multiple objects, but it's not work. Actually, you need a little bit change your pattern for for move the object and move the camera, and not camera, I mean move the view, because it's a little bit different from the Rhino. Okay. Last one. I like that we didn't make maybe 20 layers. Because it started to be annoying.
Oh, but that looks like a beautiful surreal, surreal facade. Your data sculpture.
Yes, I like this because it started to look like it started to looks like facets, because you see the structure layers and maybe some additional composition things.
Yeah, I liked your idea about trying to make a spiral through the sculpture. That might look quite cool.
Okay, that's it. I just save it because I don't save it before. And how you see I because I just because I imported 5 independent files. I have these files inside the default collection. Collection is like a group of the objects. In actually maybe it will be help you to divide it from the other object. Maybe you need camera, lights, some additional objects, and you can create a collection, new collection. To click on the new collection button, and with the shift open the select all of the objects, so just open select here, and move to the collection. I can by double clicking I can rename this tower. It's not a skyscraper, it's tower. Okay, and okay, what I can do with this, if you go to the this part of the menu, you can see and select the one of the object. You can see the several icons. It actually depends on the content of this part of this block relate to the object type. If it's camera, you will show the other properties. But if you select the object, you can see there this kind of properties. And first white blocks is scene block, scene properties. What we need to know, it's about the first render properties and the render engine. You can see the different the 3 type of render engines: Eevee, Workbench, and Cycles. you can use Eevee and Cycles, because Workbench it's two simple engine just for the create a preview of animations for this. And Eevee, it's a little bit Eevee and Cycles, it's a photorealistic renders, but Cycles it's more realistic. It use ray tracing, and because of this, it's a little bit take time to create images, to render the images, and we will in our case we will use Eevee. But actually we can test Cycles too. Actually, we when you make materials and set up a camera, we go to this render video again. And what you need also, it's output properties. You can, if you select this, you can see the resolution. This is the resolution of the image which you will render. And if you would like to create full HD, it's a full HD. If you would like to maybe square, you will find a square. How you are, it's this resolution is for the when you use a camera. As you can remember, we have a camera by default. This is a small camera inside here. Actually, we can use move to just move it from inside of our sculpture, and to switch to the view from the camera, I need just click on the 0 on your keyboards, like this one. But I couldn't I couldn't move it. My camera can move it. I just can move the camera as a usual object, like this one, or properties of the object, which we can find in the this one or this one, object properties. You see the location and rotation. This arrow shows your top of the camera. But if you would like to see the camera, and so if you'd like to move camera inside view of the camera, you need to make one trick. You can find the small arrow here. If you drag it, you find this menu, which you can drag like this, and go to the view. And you can see this this block of the view menu, which is the view lock, and you can switch on camera to view. And after this, the camera started to go with your view, which you can change by your pen. And after that, when you are finish with the change the camera view, you just need to click again to the camera to view, and it started to be in the view. And you don't need to think about you change the camera or you don't change. Just you click the 0, and if you change, you just go to the sum menu. If you check the 1, 2, 3, 4 and other key on keyboard, you switch between different views. Actually, we can do this with this kind of circle. And I don't like this. This too small. This camera look like very small. I can go to the view camera object data properties with the camera icon, and change the just a minute. No, viewport display, yes, and change the viewport display. If I would like to change the property of the camera, I mean the focal length, I used the lens properties. Click again, click here, and yes, I can see, you can see this one view. Okay, let's see what we can do with our object. As you can see the object properties too with properties, and you can change the here. Rotation, location, and so on, if it's necessary. And if I go to the next icon, modifier properties, I can do something a little bit interesting. For example, because of this image was created by animation. From the gun. It's how I said before. It's a looping. It has a property of looping. That means that start equal to finish of the animation. Because of that, I can actually, if I go, if I put first section to the last, it's they are don't have some border, and it's
they kind of matching if you put the lower.
Yeah, but I don't want to if I would like to write this tower to some reason, section by section, of course I don't like to do this by my hand, and for this reason I can use just a moment, remove yes. I can move. I can use some modifier to do this automatically, and for this I go to the modifier properties and click on the add modifier. I can see here the old modifier which you can use. And I need to find the modifier arrow, right, which allow me to create the array of my object. By default, it uses the x-axis, but I need the axis. For example, this one. And it's 0. But as you can remember, I have the all of my levels of my section have a similar height, and I have the seven section, and how many sections I have? I forgot. 5. Yes. Yeah. And as I can see, I create a new one section similar to my previous by just modifier, and I need to think about the real dimensions of the for the all of my objects. And actually, if I'd like to make it for the next next section, I need to make a copy of this modifier. For this, I just click on the Ctrl plus L, if I remember exactly, and create a link and copy some properties from one object to another object. Actually, sorry, I need to do something. No, right. I need to select 2 objects. And I need to select which object will be the source of the for the other of the other object. Actually, I can select, for example, I can select more than 2, 3, 5, and else objects, and I can see that one object highlighted as yellow, and others are orange. And one object, this yellow object, is the main object to link. This is the source, and in our case, we need to this object as a source. For this, I just click this shift to this object to change the main object. And after this, I can click Ctrl plus L and click on the modifiers, and it's linked creates copy of the modifier like this one. And how it is, you couldn't find the separation between them. They merge together smoothly. Actually, you can the fun is that you can do this not just one count. Of course, you can create 3 copy some position, and actually it depends on your computer power. I don't have this power. Так, может быть, Елизавета, как-то следите, понятно, пока непонятно?
Вроде понятно, спасибо.
Я немножко запуталась, если честно, Эдик. То есть, получается, ты вначале одну копировал, потом ты их сразу...
Я скопировал, это свойство модификатора, скопировал для других, такое же сделал.
Скопировал
не обладает тем самым модификатором.
Поняла.
Repeat again. If you'd like to copy your modifiers to other objects, like here. As you can see, this object has the array modifier 2. And again, if I don't have, first of all, they don't have the modifiers, and you couldn't create select all of many objects and create modifiers for all of them. You need to just create add modifier for one object and link modifier to other objects. Again, I just select my object, select the main, Control plus L, and select modifiers. This menu we need to use. Also, we will use for the link the materials between, because we need to just create material material for one object, and after that we need to link material from one first object to other for all other objects.
Any questions so far? There's some of you guys are new to Blender, so you probably have a few. No?
Okay.
Laura says she's okay.
Yes, okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If we want to delete a specific modifier that we added, should we? Because I see there is like.
For example, I can show you. You can just select the object.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this has array modifier is in the two places. Right. And I go to the modifier properties menu, and just need to click on the cross.
Oh, all right.
Remove the modifier.
Got it.
What else I can do with this? If you can see, you can have the highlight of the two icons. First icon real time, and second one is render. Actually, sometimes you don't need to some modifier can some modifier need a lot of computer power, and for this reason we can click real time, and this for some reason but actually if you check this uncheck this icon, switch off the real time, actually it will be rendered because it will be check on for the render. For example, you don't want to see it here because it's maybe your GPU doesn't have enough power. But when it will render, it started to be work, and this object will be in this place too in the render. If you don't want to in the render too, you need to check out the render icon too.
So it's basically visualize only once you render it, right?
Mm-hmm. And if you check here, real time, it's created here in Viewport, but it will be not rendered because you don't check on the render. Okay. Actually, what you can do here, Elson, For example, you can create if you can create a Boolean operation. At Boolean operation. For example, for I do this for just for the first level, and I add just a moment. Boolean, yes, a Boolean operation. Boolean operations is a usual operation. If you know this, it's allow you to intersect union and difference between two objects. And as you understand, you need two second objects for this operation. And I can create this by clicking on the add and the mesh, and maybe I can create a cube. And it's always creating on the center of the cursor. This is a circle, this one. And I can move here and see that it's a small box. And I can change the dimension of this box by clicking on the property and change the scale. Actually, I have if you I know that you can have this question. So, for example, if you have if you'd like to change all of scale axis in one time, if you try to do something like this and try to use Shift, Control, or something other keys, you couldn't do anything. But if you click on the slider and drag your mouse down, you select all of the axis and started to move change the scale by all of them. Or clicking on and create just this 1, 2. This tip 2. For example, okay. And if I would like to remove this and create a Boolean operation with this box, I'm go again to the property of my first object. Go to the property menu, and I can and I need to select the object, second object for operation, and I click on the how it's called pipette, and click on the box, and just need to relax and waiting for the operation. Sometimes it's not happened correctly because you need to fix the and repair this mesh, because sometimes it's not closed mesh. If it's not closed mesh, it's difficult to operate with Boolean. Maybe I work with that. I show the Boolean operation because sometimes it takes a lot of time.
Я не совсем поняла, как менять вот эти параметры кубика, допустим. Как ты их
Ты
так
нажимаешь на
ловко.
слайдер, нажимаешь и спускаешь вниз. Не влево-вправо, а вниз.
So you select and then you press the slider and push it down.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's interesting.
Actually, this is what for me was one of the annoying in Blender, because I don't understand how it can change all three dimensions for the rotation or moving. And actually, I tried to find the information, and actually, it's not so easy to find this small tip how to change the three dimensions in one time
simultaneously. So you basically have to select one slider and drag it down, and then it changes. Okay, got it.
I see that my experience with Boolean started to be a long time. Actually, what I have to do before the Boolean actually, and what I do for the optimization, I add a modifier before the Boolean. Modifier also to simplify the mesh, which allow me to remove the vertices from the mesh, and after the optimization, Boolean is a little bit faster. But of course, it depends on the computer powers. Someone tried to make a Boolean.
А можно тогда, пока грузится, пока для меня эта тайна не раскрылась, а для чего мы сделали этот куб?
Я хотел сделать булевую операцию вычитания. Вычесть.
То есть просто из модели вычесть.
Да, ну, чтобы как показать это как одно из возможных действий.
Все, спасибо.
Но.
Ну да, но в принципе, если хочется какие-то вырезать объемы из формы, это, наверное, имеет смысл делать это все-таки на стадии After Effects, как ты вот сделал с этим срезом, потому что у тебя, ну, получается, закрытая меш. Потому что сейчас ты вырежешь, он будет закрытый.
Он может там давать ошибки. Да, это почему я начал делать вот таким образом в After Effects, потому что я понял, что с булевыми операциями будет очень все сложно. It's all about this. Why I started to use a special mask, animated mask, for the in After Effects, because when I started to use a Boolean operation, because I interested to make a section of our sculpture, I understood that it's absolutely impossible to waiting of the Boolean.
Something happened.
It's actually yes. This one. It has, as you can see, it's not work correctly.
It didn't happen, right?
Yes. And I remove this because it's a little bit hard for. And as I say, actually, you can try first of all to simplify the mesh. For this, I can use. Just a moment. I decimate, modifier decimate. It allows you to collapse and use a different kind of optimization algorithms. First of all, this collapse. If I hide all objects and show you the mesh, you can see that there are a lot of polygons and vertices. Of course, it's not optimized for the Boolean. Small tip for you: if you so you can see it's difficult to understand what happened here because all of is orange, and because you can click on the arrow and make this one, and you backface cool. And it's better. And if you see here, you see the before the collapse, because ratio is 1, and you can make a ratio like 1.2. It remove 4 from 5 points. And after that, actually, it can be worked with Boolean better and faster. But all kind of. And why is other maybe it's too many, but of course you need to find the balance for the optimization and how and resolution of the mesh. And very important things also is you understand that you don't want to make a computation with all of modifiers again. You can click on this arrow and apply this modifier, and it's apply this modifier and in this structure to be mesh without modifier, but it's applied modifiers. And in the second time when you run the Blender, you don't need to wait when all of modifier applied. Okay. And actually, what else I can do? If as you can see, I have this order of the modifiers, arrows, and after this decimate. Actually, of course, it's not so. It's not so right and effective way to have the order, because of course I need to apply the first have a decimate as a first modifier to simplify this mesh, and after that create from this optimized mesh the arrow. And
so can you drag it and change the order?
Yes, I can drag and change the order. It's simple. Okay, let's go to the. I switch on all of the. My objects. Okay. Okay. Let's create some cool material for our object. I can select the Viewport Shading see that. For this reason, I have to go to the material properties, and by default we have one material, diffuse material, and actually each object has own material by default, but actually, of course, we need to one. And I can change the property for the material. By default, it's this is it uses a shader which is called principal BSDFE. But it's don't give me all power of the material, and I can use the node to which allow me to create more complex material. To work with it, I can just go to the tab shading, and it show me this kind of workspace. Actually, I don't need because I would like to work with some textures and wrapping of these textures to the to objects. I need just use a node. I would like to work with the node and the viewport to see the result. And as I said, the Blender has good UI to organize your workspace. In my case, I'd like to remove this one and this one window. For this reason, I can just click on the border between two windows, and just and click on join areas, and see show you where you can I would like to join here and here. I can see this and I can change my layout. And actually, if I'd like to, but actually I don't like this layout because actually for me more useful to have the left and right windows in my case, because you have a tower, vertical tower. And actually I can join this area too, and I create new one window here, but it's the same window, and I can just need to click here and select the necessary window type. In my case is
Are you looking for node editor?
Yes, shader editor, and you can see this. I see this. Now I have this layout. I think it's more useful, and I just can press the border of the additional menu and remove it. What I see here, I see the node-based language for create shaders, and I show you some tips which allow you to create some beautiful shaders as material. Actually, before that, I see that I have this material, which will this material of the selector object. If I click on other object, I will show the other material, and I can see name of here. Actually, I can name of this my material. And after that, I need to link this material to all of my object. For this, I select all objects, and Control L, and you need to see that, or yellow object is my first object, and click on the materials. After this, I apply material to all of objects, like this one, and I can click to pin this material here, because if I click inside outside, I don't remove the material. Or maybe I can select the other project and it's not removed. If I would like to see there are other materials, I just need to pin again to remove the pin. Okay, let's see. It's I can see the structure where you have a node of the principled BSDF. It's a shader, and the output nodes node which called material output. And what I can do with this. First of all, I'm interested to create something maybe with which related to the geometry. I would like to highlight some geometry properties, geometry surfaces, and for this I needed to see the layers. Render layers, which I can use for the creating shader. How I can create a new node? For this, of course, I need to open the sum node at sum node, and I here on the top I can see the add, and I can see the all of nodes which can be used. Other way is to click Shift+A on the canvas, and it's and the search menu appeared, and I can find something. For example, map range. Just example. Okay, let's see what I can do here. First of all, I can see the group of input, and I can see the many of the input data. For example, attribute or geometry. These two. Or pixel coordinate. Or layer weight. It is all of this kind of nodes allow me to work with some data from the geometry of the stem. How you can understand what is it about? Actually, to visualize what's happening inside each parameter, which output parameter or output pin, I can create other, or use this one, but it's not necessary. I can just create a new one, material output, shift plus A, and enter material output. And I just need, maybe I'm like to think what is normal. And I click on the pin, press on the pin, and link to the surface. And nothing happen, because the current active node is this one, because it's the right. If I'd like to activate this, I need to click here, and as I see the visualizing of the what happened inside, what's the data inside the normal. And actually, I can try to see here the data. Color relate to the value, actually, because it's because all of this kind of this is not some RGB channels. Is a vector. 3D usually is a 3D vector, and but it's not a but for understanding what happened here inside, you can visualize it to convert by converting vector to RGB channels. And as you can see, in this case, you can see the different kind of data of the geometry. Geometry is our geometry, and this all of this pin related to and properties related to especially to the my geometry. For example, parametrics show the of the coordinates inside each polygon. Or normal, as you can think, it's a normal coordinates. Normal that's is this vector to perpendicular to the surface of the object, and it is Volt coordinates. Because of that, all of the surface in this in this plane this has this color, and the surfaces which that are parallel to these coordinates is has their red color. And of course, you can experiment with all of these kind of vectors. Actually, there is also the texture coordinates. Is the coordinates which that allow you to see the how it can generate some vertices in some coordinates on the surface. Actually, they very sometimes is similar, very similar to the geometry, but it's a little bit difference. For example, if you want to understand this UV coordinates, because we don't wrap our geometry by some UV coordinate object. It doesn't have any kind of coordinates, and you can see the object. The interesting that is now is my object. Its coordinate size here. Actually, I show you some small tip when you can use other objects to create new coordinate for your object. And after that, I show you how you can work with it. For example, I can create a cube, a castellari cube. This one. And I can pin my node to this object. Just click on the picket to the object, and I can see this. Now I colored. I created coloring of this of all of my objects with my material by the coordinate of the other objects. You can see if I rotate here or change the rotation, I can change the coordinate. For example, if I would like to in the future to use object coordinate maybe to colorize by related to this to this line, I can create some object like this one, and after this use this coordinate to colorize to colorize my object. Actually, if I change the scale, I change the coordinate too, because they relate to this object. Так, может быть, Елизавета, что-то вам понятно, что-то непонятно, что можно пояснить?
Ну, я поняла о том, что, получается, мы сейчас работаем с цветом за счет, грубо говоря, вот этого объекта, да?
С нодами тоже понятно, да? Что, как они появляются, где их достать? Это
да, это я поняла, и, наверное, я не до конца поняла, каким образом у нас вот эти цвета таким появляются.
Цвета, они условные. Цвета, они условные, они просто даются как подсветка, чтобы понять, что какие примерно там координаты. То есть это на самом деле вектора, и они каким-то образом мапятся в цвета. То есть это не...
Ну, то есть это вот получается вот данные, которые содержатся, он как...
Просто это визуализация этих данных.
А управлять ты не можешь этими цветами, да?
Да, то есть я сначала их визуализирую, чтобы понять, что вообще там внутри находится. Дальше с ними буду работать, уже преобразую вектора в какие-то данные, в цвета, маппию их на цвета уже по тем обстоятельствам, которые хочу. Окей. Maybe last one. I can see the frenzy facing. This kind of with this kind of vectors which show the relation between camera and surface and the normal of surface, and we can use to for this one with some additional conversion to the color and the property for the shader. And okay, I just click on the cube, highlight the cube, and actually it will work. And I show you some small small tips with this data. For example, I go to the camera. Maybe I put it here to see better. And for example, I would like to create a material which will be work at a depth camera. For this reason, in this case, I will use the window data from the window. It looks like this one, but I need to convert it to inside the inside some inside to the RGB coordinates. Actually, what I can do with this, first of all, I need to add a vector vector math. This node allow me to use a different kind of algorithms to for operating with vectors, like here. For me, interesting to convert it to this vector to the distance from the camera to object. For this, I click on the add and choose a distance, and join the window to the first vector. Or last one, it not depends. It not depends, because first vector is 0, 0, 0. It means the center of the camera, the point of view of the camera. And the next vector will be this one. And if I try to see a value, how it look like the value, I see that it show me a little bit different image, and I see that it's a white and black because I convert the 3D vector to vector with one dimension, as which we call value usually. And actually, it's usually has if a 3D vector has this color pin, but value has a gray pin. But it's now it's not correctly for me, because I would like to maybe other deep for the camera, and I need to map the value from the distance to the some other value. For this, I use the map range. You can find the map range. And I join the value to value. Very simple. You can imagine, and actually it's true, that each pixel, actually what you are actually do here, each pixel here has some vector, each pixel. And when I see here, like this one, each pixel has a vector which converted to the RGB. Here, I has not for each pixel has just one value. It will be, and it's related to the distance from the camera to the geometry. For each pixel on the geometry has a own distance from the camera. And after that, I need to map this value, this distance in the real units, to the some useful range. For us, it's usually from 0 to 1, which was simple convert to the colors, to the color space. And for example, if I have the for this I use a map range, and I can see how it's worked. Because you can see here this point far from than other pixels, but actually because of my just a minute, if I can see distance because has sorry, I just have to understand for a second. It's very small values. I don't know why. I think it should be a little bit other. Not camera. This one. Just I think I do not right. Yes, actually, sorry. I don't need. I don't have. I need to not use window vector, but camera vector, of course. Mistake. And you can see, of course, for example, if you would like to have white color here as from far distance, I just need to just make something like a 100 here and 0 here, because 100 interpolated to 0 and 0 to interpolate to 1, and something in between there is have the interpolated colors. As you can see, I can change the way how it's called, but now it's just value. It's not a color. And if I would like to create a color from the value, I need to add a color ramp. Color ramp allows you to convert the value to the some color. Result I will join with fact. And now it's the color. You can see the color. And now it's very similar because you have a black and white color. But actually now I can change the color by how I'd like to, what I'd like to have. For example, this one. Actually, they're interesting that they has a different. You can operate with and change the color space for which we work with and the algorithms for how we translate between two colors. For example, RGB, and now inside the color space RGB, and I can change from linear to constant, and it show like this one, and I can make a contrast border, and I can to create the new color point, I need to just click on the plus and change the color. For example, this one. And actually, they're interesting that now I just use not work with camera view. I just can click on the connect to view. See how it can look like. And this is material. It's not it's coloring. Can be colored of the surface. Just if I now it's not a material, but if I join this color to the base color and select the material, now it's a material. It's a color of color base color of material, and you see here the lighting, because here, if you remember, you don't see the light because you see just a color map. Now you see the real material with light, and if you add some lights, you see the different different kind of lighting on the surface, and you can see change the some type of materials like roughness. It's roughness and other kind of types of material properties. And actually, what you can do here, and go to again to the color RAM. I can change the. I can change it to this line, for example. It will show something like this. Or you can go to change the color space, like HSV or HSL, and it's a little bit has a little bit different kind of algorithms to interpolation, and you can play with it. It's about how you move from the one color to another. For example, through the color wheel, through the near distance or far distance during the arc from the one color to another color. And it's your choice, of course. For example, I can use it for something, but maybe I would like to use something else. Окей, sorry, Елизавета, вам пока все понятно?
Да, пока все понятно, спасибо.
Хорошо. Окей. And
what about the rest? Does anyone have any question?
Okay. Yeah.
In terms of are you following? Yeah, Laura is following. Good.
Okay.
Nilafar says okay as well.
Okay, what else I can do with this? For example, I can use the I create a other color ramp. To work with a Frenzel or facing. Let me show you how it works. Because it's a value, I don't need a value, not a vector. It's a value. Yeah, I can use the color ramp. Oh, sorry. Yes, it's okay, because it's from it has value from the 0 to 1, and because of that I can directly convert it to the color, and I can see the result here. Here, for facing. What I can do is with this, for example, I can do the coloring of the border of the geometry. And for me, it doesn't to try to mix it together, the color from here, and from here. Maybe not color, but maybe you can use some color to this color as a mask for the other colors. And how can be done? I can find the mix shader. This allows me to use a two shader. In this case, it can be it's not. Sorry, it should be not mix shader. It should be mix RGB. It's more important because mix RGB is used with you work with colors. Mix shader, you work with the shaders. We will work both of them. Okay. For example, I would like to use this color and maybe other color, maybe this this color, a green, really green color. But I would like to see them only in the border of the geometry. And how I can do this? I need to join the color from the color ramp to the first color. But how it understand that how I can because now it's and actually with a property fact I can just mix them by slider, or maybe I can has other Blender options like this one. But if I would like to mix just through the mask, I can use this color ramp with as a effect. It means that for individual pixel, I use individual color from the mask as effect. If it will be, it is black, this is a second color. If it's white, this is a first color. It means if I make a constant and use like this one, I can make a very I can create a contrast contrast surface border, for example. This one. Oh, much better. And of course, you can play with this by yourself. But actually, what I would like to show you other trick with the shaders, because I can mix different kind of shaders, and I show you other shaders that this one, then BSDF. And you can find the other shaders in the block shader, and you can see all of shaders which you can choose. I just know several from this list, and you can, of course, you can play with other. And I will show you how you can use Emission Shader to create the emission effect. If I to see this better, first of all I'll show you how it works with surface by itself. But actually, and I have the very simple parameters, color and strength, and I can change the colors, of course. And what else? What I see, I just that all surfaces started to be filling by one color, and because to see all of color of this shader, I need to go to the render properties and click to the bloom. It allows you to see the bloom like this one. You see this all objects started to lighting to give a light. But glow. Actually,
to glow.
To glow. Thank you. But actually, to see better, I can actually better to use a viewport shading. It means that it's very similar to the rendering. And actually, in the general, I have the environmental light, and I need to decrease of this light. For this I need to go to the world properties, and here is this world surface. It's a surface as an environment. And you can see the color and strength. I can just make the color really near with black. Oh, can be black actually, but just some strange things with the camera. I think maybe I need to change the end, clipped end, something like this one to here. And I see that it's this object has a glow, very good. Well, but you don't understand what happens in with geometry, actually. And actually, what I would like to show is how you can use the emission shader and the facing to create something, to create a material which has as shader for for all geometry, but the emission in the border of the geometry. For this, I go to create. I add a mix. A mix shader, and I will use the two shader, emission one and SDF. And if you can see, if I choose the I can choose the if I make this fact as 0, well, if 1 is shows as just a BSDF. If I make it 0, it shows as just emission. But how you can imagine? I can use the color ramp from the facing up map to shaders. Color. Right. Yes, but actually in a little bit different way, because actually maybe I need to change what I need to make that change the order. Now I see there this kind of shading, and then you can use here and I can, if I change a little bit and give a little bit more surface, I will start to see the colors of the material, of base material, and I can see the emission. Actually, as I said before, I can use a little bit different kind of shading for the to highlight or relate, which can be related to this line. For this, I can have this box, as you remember, and I tried to use this box and coordinates from this box as a base color, or maybe something else. For example, I go to the I take a material. As you remember, why this channel change, because this distance is changed from the camera to grains, and then if I'd like to see the color like here, like before, I need to change the map range. For example, like this one. Okay, what I see here, I see I take a cube. Cube object coordinates, and I would like to use it for the this geometry. How you can create it? I can just I can just use one coordinate to. I would like to work with just one coordinate from the object. For this, I need to separate X, Y, Z and join with vector, and I can try all of the wall. I just wanted to make a mistake. Y surface and Z surface, and then you choose to find the this is the right coordinates. If I find the geometry, I can here actually. Just a moment, if I remember, I can just see not see the object not just shaded, but as a wire. It allow me to not see them, but not intersect with my object. For example, I would like to start it from here, and I'm going to use this Z coordinate as a new color for the object. I can create new color ramp. And add some kind of colors. Sorry, I need to actually I need to map range to. Actually, I can I know I can make a copy as and I think maybe I'm wrong, but I think I can create something like this. Make something like this, and it should allow me to create the to map the coordinates from this -1 to this +1 to 0 to 1. In this case, the center of the color ramp will be a center of my geometry. Yes. For example, I can use this one. What I'm doing, I would like to create a copy, and for this I just copy the hex color, and I'd like to create a start and exactly on the on this how it can be named canyon. And next I can just create the.
You can call it gap. Ed.
Gap. Good spot. Thank you. Maybe I would like to make it a little bit. Like this. How can see you see the because I have the my cube is ended here. If this is started to the last coordinate, coordinate 1, and if I would like to have all range, I need to little bit change the scale.
So basically, Ed, just to summarize a little bit, because I don't know, personally, I got a little bit confused in all these manipulations. So first you showed the way how we change color depending on distance from the camera to the object. And now you're showing how you're controlling the color through adding a new object and kind of coloring it depending on the distance of that object. So it's basically different ways of visualizing
not
this 3D
distance from object. Sorry, not distance from the object, but coordinates of the object.
Yeah, sorry, from coordinates from the object.
Coordinates
but some sort of interrelationships between vectors of one object and another object in your sculpture.
Is this question?
No. I'm just trying to summarize in a way. Я пытаюсь просто суммировать, что мы делаем, потому что я немножко начинаю терять нить. То есть один вариант — это мы работали с расстоянием от камеры до объекта и таким образом раскрашивали. А сейчас мы работаем как раз с этим боксом, с помощью которого мы тоже раскрашиваем наш объект. Ну, вернее, взаимозависимость между двумя геометриями.
Now I can see that I used the new color from the color map from the coordinate of other objects as a base color, and now I can see the little bit different palette pattern.
So we in the end we kind of mixed it together. So for the edges we're using.
But what I can do else actually to make it a little bit more strange. Now I don't have I don't use this color ramp, and I can use this color ramp as emission color ramp, like emission color. I just need to join it, and actually what you can see is that the color of the emission will be related to the color from this color ramp. For example, I showed just the emission like this is now an emission, and now this is a color. If you actually, I can do something to understandable more, maybe more. I repeat. I just repeat this, and but. So I can show how it's called without shaders BSDA. It's look like that you have the coloring for some
edges,
borders, yes, edges as a yellow, other as a red, because you have this kind of coloring in general. And working with all of this kind of manipulation with the colors, with the coordinates, you can actually use. You can create your new material which you would like to have. Actually, you can create the other things. Actually, I can try to show you some images which I made with shading without texture. I don't create a texture, but just use shader editor. Just a moment. For example, just a moment. For example, this kind of image. yes, this kind of image was created by shading, and we see this kind of line, and it was created by the manipulation with the vector values and algorithms which I used for the convert some vectors from the which I need to I'm going to use, and use mathematician formulas with because I can make a lot of transformer rotation, displacement, and so on, and other way to work with the values inside the different layers of rendering, and other mathematicians from formulas to create very complexity shader. And you can try to do this too. Actually, we don't have a lot of time to show all of these things, and actually it's like more like a creativity, creative game, and you need to start to play with all of these things, and actually maybe when you have started to work with your model, you create something interesting and for the presentation, and it will be most of the interesting result. At the end, I just show you how you can render it. You just remove that. Actually, of course, you can just actually you can play with the camera. Of course, you can create an animation for the camera. For example, you can maybe we would like to, as a starship, go through the this gap. Also do something like something else. So maybe you can work with Boolean operation or other modifiers which we can play with. But then you can need to render all of this stuff. I will show you some tips with it. Actually, if you would like to create the render, you can do several things. First of all, you can actually, if you go to the render properties, you can go to the fill section and make the transparent of your background transparent. And also, if it's necessary, maybe you need. But sometimes it's not work correctly with the bloom, you can see how can be work with it. Actually, and you actually can use the compositing to create your own, but it's actually maybe it's too many. You need about 1 hour else to explain how it works. But if you go with just simple render, we go you can make transparent, and you can bloom on both. You can, if you create animation, you can use some motion animation, motion blur for your scene. And what else? And you, of course, you need to manage your path and where you will save your where you save your work. you can use. You need to go to the output properties, and I shown you the use. You can you can change the resolution, and actually it's very helpful to create a small preview. You can just can make a create a person for the resolution, just to and when you render it, just will be 10% of your resolution, and things set frame start frame end if you make an animation, and you can create output. You manage and set output directory, something like this. Just make something. Give a name, and you can, but you need to, if you start, if you'd like to, if you'd like to render just one file, you can have two way for this. First of all, actually, not if you forgot this one, you can go to the render and create a render image, and it make a render. It show your render image viewport, and it takes some time. Maybe it's not too many. If I make it's just 10% of my real resolution. Yes, amazing. Actually, if as you can see, actually the important stuff. You see this box is rendered to, and if you don't want to render all of your some object, it doesn't work with it. If you just this eye, you just hide from the viewport, but it will be rendered. If you'd like to do this, you need to just click here and select the disable in renders icon, and it shows the disabled icons for all of the objects, and you can just need to click on the clip outward objects which we would like to hide in for the rendering, and you should go to the and here forgot and you should go to the Blender render window, image, and save as, and just say how you would like to save your image, and set your it will be RGB, PNGs, and so on. Or if you would like to render and automatically save your image, you can go to the output properties, set the frame start and end like 1, and click on save where you would like to save your image, and click on the render and render animation of Ctrl plus F12. Sorry, and it's when it renders, it will be saved automatically. Actually, that's it. Может быть, Елизавета, что из этого непонятно, что можете повторить, пояснить?
Нет, вроде все понятно, только вот единственное, что правильно понимаю, что эти 10% resolution, да, это мы как типа для себя делаем превью, а когда уже...
Когда можете что ставить, да? Просто я ставил 10, да, сейчас не остаться, наверное.
Ну, сам Эдик, вопрос, ты как бы сам это как анимейшн делать, ты не объяснил, да? Там как сделать path и как... Отдельная история.
Да.
Okay.
Actually, if you would like to make an animation, you can go to the I can just show you very simple stuff. Like let's go to the layout. I'll show you the camera. Just a moment. For example, I take the camera and I'll go to the actually okay, another way to maybe it's really more. If I have a camera, I have the timeline from here, from 0, from 1, 0. And I would like to animate here. It's take frame, and I need to go to the. I need to go to the property, not role property, sorry, for the object property, and in this case, you can just create an animation. Just if you would like to animate, for example, some axis by your hand, for example, here, and then check it, and I move, and I need to click again, and it will be the animation. But if I don't, I would like to do it more agile. I can just click on the auto key. One part of the animation. Last and go to the last one, for example. Go to the other part, and as you can see, all of this stuff is started to be, but you need to and after you keying, it will start to animate it. And actually, it's worked for the object too, of course. And you can change the render here, because you can go to the camera and see how it works. Oh, wow, fantastic. And you can change the frame start, frame end, and choose the folder, and you can and after that you click on the render animation, and it create render to all frames to the PNG files, PNG sequence, which can be converted to the animation by the After Effects, for example. You can, as we do is as we do with our sequence from the gun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody have any questions? No?
No.
Of course, it will be interesting to see that on the final presentation, all of your pictures, images, renders, animations, and maybe some narrative, some research of your path through all of this stuff. How you can go through the Google Search Engine to the last to the object and to the sculpture, to the render of the sculpture.
Yeah, or even some sort of feedback, like just telling a story, like you wanted to try this, what was the problems, what you could do, what you couldn't do, what was your expectations, and what did you find something kind of did you discover anything interesting for yourself? It's like maybe how would you want to apply it, or if you want to apply it, what would you do? How would you let's say make it better? How would you advance this tool? And maybe your ideas about visualization. I mean, Ed showed like these principles of coloring depending on camera, so you somehow relate it to the movement into animation. But maybe you have some other ideas. How would you visualize those data sculptures and etc. So yeah, I think tomorrow we would like to have it like just keep it as a conversation and you guys showing what you've done. Or yeah, if you couldn't find your let's say extract your information, feel free to use everything Ed shared and just play with that in a different stages. Maybe if someone is more interested in model itself in the model and has less interest in all these kind of fancy visualization, yeah, just tell us a little bit about model. If someone is more interested, like Laura, I can see that you're more interested about kind of visual effects and you were testing different materials. That's really good as well. So you just tell us a little bit more. How would you advance it and progress it? So yeah. Елизавета, я просто добавила к тому, что Эд сказал, что завтра, наверное, у нас просто будет такая, ну, как бы обмен тем, что получилось, что не получилось, как бы, ну, конечно, хотелось бы, чтобы вы как бы рассказали какую-то историю, то есть какие были цели, какие были интересы, почему именно эти, как бы вы выбрали работать с этими имиджами и так далее. И насколько эксперимент удался, не удался, как его можно как бы сделать более интересно, лучше, и как вы, например, хотели бы использовать в дальнейшем эти знания, эти инструменты, которые Эд нам показал и рассказал.
Ну, то есть это как оформить можно как некая презентация.
Да.
So it's in a way, it's some sort of little presentations, like series of images, and just tell your story. So that would be great.
Можно? Я еще уточню. Ну, то есть, получается, можно будет, так, грубо говоря, такая некая презентация, обзор того, что мы прошли, правильно? То есть как от, так скажем, этих данных, да, на изображениях, и как мы пришли к такому 3D-объекту, правильно?
Да, может быть, какая-то история, почему, например, выбрали то или другое место, почему вы так сделали. То есть интересен всегда выбор, почему сделан так или иное решение, почему вы такое вот взяли, такие данные, почему вы потом их так преобразовали, потом, что вы попробовали вычленить из, уже работая с 3D-объектом. Вот это все.
Я вас поняла, спасибо.
Great. Okay. Do you like it?
Good. Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, it is great. I really like it.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Yeah, me too.
I hope you can make something similar. Actually, whatever you guys showed today is already very promising. So we are looking forward. That would be nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, any last questions? Any technical questions or something? Yeah.
I just have something in mind that I wanted to ask if that is possible. For example, can we create the images in After Effects in the way that it creates on the top of the sculpture or high rise become scaled or smaller than the base part? As I saw you showed it with mask and anti-mask. For example, the last image that has, how do I say, the last image has smaller topography than the first image. So would it make the monolith work in the way that the base part become bigger than the top part?
Yes, it will work. Because monolith interpolates in between pixels values.
Okay, so in the last image, the dark parts or the black parts will be much more. The boundary parts that are black will be much more, and so the top part of the high rise will be smaller. Am I right?
Yeah, I think yeah. Are you talking about just, let's say, if here we have a mask of a circle and you at the start, which fits into this rectangular frame, but in the end you would like to have scaled down circle of a mask.
And monolith shows that for example, if you have a mask like here, the monolith shows the empty space here and the volume here.
Yeah, empty space would be black, right? Still, the boundary is black, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So it's basically in After Effects, you will have to, like Ed was rotating the rectangular, you can do the same way. You can scale this mask.
The circle.
Circle,
right.
yeah, you can scale the circle to the end, and that will be the same animation. And then you export the frames.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if you will have some difficulties, send us text or email. Like we'll try to help.
Can you use a Discord?
Sure.
Or email if you'd like to. You don't like Discord. But yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're
so much. Большое.
Welcome. So see you tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
Эд, ты продолжаешь.